Let's do this. As you can see, I have a Grogu, and upon request, I was asked to shoot with Grogu, and I said no problem. Grogu's got a little, looks like a letter. It says love is the way. I've been saying something like that for a couple days, so let's do that. Everything is moving at the freaking snail's pace. First week of August, it's already down. The adulting stuff is definitely hindering me a lot. I think when we make fun of people who are like 35 still living in their parents' basement, I think what it really was is we were just jealous. Jealousy. Because adulting sucks. I feel really bad for people who I forgot what my thought was. Getting old, an old man. Alright, I remembered what it was. I actually feel bad for the generation that's growing up now. You know, I'm old. Yeah, I was able to do the adulting stuff without having to basically, like, you know, be so overburdened. And most of it's technology. As great as technology is today, as great as you know, and the fast pace it's moving at, and everything like that. Mostly, it's like, you know, when I was a kid, I didn't have a cell phone. So $900 or whatever people are paying these days for phones, you know, that wasn't even an expense. funny. I kind of grew into the entire computer age, and everybody had, when everybody had a desktop, that was like commonplace growing up. And then it was like laptops. Everybody had laptops for a short period of time. And now people don't even own computers. Now everything that they do is on their phone. So, like I said, it's technology. And I think, like, oh my God, it's so expensive. But, I paid thousands and thousands of dollars for a freaking computer system that, every 5 years needed to be replaced. Like I said, I just feel bad. I can't imagine. I can't imagine your rent being half your paycheck. I can't imagine that stuff. And in some cases more. To where you have to have a roommate in order to basically cover the expenses. With a strong middle class, I guess. And now there's not a strong middle class. And I don't think it's going to come back. Somebody wrote in, I got a tweet that I read, it was just in my freaking feed. A tweet that was just in my feed about talking about how the old guy, that old guy that we were freaking, staunchly wanting to keep in, to do another 4 years and yada yada yada. And just so you know, I didn't want him. I didn't want the old guy. But the problem is that the guy you guys are freaking touting as a younger guy, only 2 years. They're basically the same age in my view. It was basically two freaking Geritol freaking people running. Welcome to the freaking, we've been in the boomer generation forever. Boomers have been president. Have been president since freaking I started. Since I was born, pretty much. I mean, I guess you could say because of the era I was born in, it was the silent generation that started, but once I was at the age of reason, I guess, it was always boomers. Boomers. Well, 21st century, it literally, we've just had boomer after boomer after boomer. Reason why people want to make term limits on freaking people in Congress, not people in, you know, in the court system. Because what was it? It was 15 years ago, and a lot of the people are still there. They asked them how much a gallon of milk cost. There was nobody in Congress that could answer that properly. Nobody in Congress that could answer that properly. Some were a little bit close. But those same people that can't understand what it costs to buy a gallon of freaking milk still exist. They're so out of touch. So damn straight, I'd rather have the younger, military decorated, which, just so everybody knows, that's the reason why I voted for John McCain. I definitely didn't want to see freaking Sarah Palin take over for John McCain, but I voted for John McCain because our commander-in-chief. I think having a military commander-in-chief is a really good thing, especially a person in charge of our military. What were the three things? Three things that America's number one at? We are number one with our military-industrial complex. We have more military power, more military might than the next three. Powers combined. And one of the three is one of our allies. It's kind of sad where everything's at. I am all for a more domestic president and a vice president who is better at foreign affairs. I think. A millionaire who's never had to want, who's basically, ran a bunch of businesses into the ground, is extremely bad for this country. And he's too fucking old. And he was too fucking old when he became president. it's funny that the people. I think what people forget about parties, when you talk about parties and stuff like that, and you talk about like how when they pretend like they're the Democratic Party didn't have a chance to vote for their candidate. It's like that's not how parties work. If I created a party and ran for president, I could put myself at the head of that party instantly. There doesn't need to be a primary vote. There doesn't have to be any of that stuff. That's all, and it's designed that way. And yeah, we are considered a two-party system, but primaries were legitimately supposed to be voting for the candidate you wanted. Not supposed to, elections were supposed to be for voting for the candidate you wanted. And when you got down to the two, and in some cases they allowed the four, it wasn't supposed to be a party versus party. It was supposed to be the two most voted for candidates were supposed to be elected. I think the party of Lincoln, the GOP, is a sham. They are a shell of what they once were. I said when I voted for John McCain, I said that the GOP is a freaking dead party. They're freaking, it's a zombie party. And the sad part about it is they've done nothing but prove me right. They have no platform. They have no stance. They have no way of moving this country forward. They have no way of protecting their citizens. They have no way. They use fear. They use hatred to elicit votes. And it's a shame. And it's very sad that people think that hatred and fear is what's going to make this country better. And it's like, no, it's what's going to tear this country apart. And we can't subscribe to that stuff. I know I can't. I had always hoped that, especially once they reviewed 45's taxes, he would be deemed ineligible. The party would basically reject him. And instead of basically going, this is a person who basically scammed his own people and has continued to scam his own people since 2016. 8 years. Years of scamming people, that they still support him, and and they still support the fact that, all he wants to do is tear things down, take away rights, be in your life. And just because you think it's okay for another person's life, I heard it last night. Mind your own damn fucking business. That's where who cares? If it's not affecting you, who cares who they fucking love? And yeah, if you want to protect the children, quote unquote, the children, then yeah, we already have laws in place to protect the children. But two consenting adults should not be under any type of scrutiny. And if you're a fucking Christian, judge not, yet ye be judged. Not your fucking place. Don't you worry about what they're doing. Be the Christian that you want to be. Be that person. Because if you can't be a Christian, then I don't know what the fuck you are. You're a label without substance. What can I say? Like fucking being pro-life. You are not pro-life. You have no... If you're part of the pro-life movement, you have no wanting, care, or love for life itself. Taking away basically health care to people who are underprivileged because in some fucked up way you think it's wrong, or you don't believe that they will make the right choice. So now they have what you basically saying, you're freaking pro-life. And then once they have that child, you fucking don't care. It's basically more fodder for the prison system. And usually an early death. Does that sound like pro-life to you? Doesn't sound like pro-life to me. The health and care of the mother, you don't care about that life? You gotta trust in the people. And I'm the first person to say that I do not trust people. And when 74 million people voted for 45, you damn straight, I know that 74 million people can't be trusted to vote for progress, for moving forward. They'd rather vote for lies and freaking whatever freaking thing that they're being fed. It's insanity to me. Insanity to me. But I believe they have the right to choose. And the only time, and they have the right to believe whatever if you want to believe the earth is flat, I don't care. I don't care that you believe the earth is flat. What I do care about is when you force that belief onto me. And when I tell you, fucking no, I don't believe the earth is flat, I believe it's round. Sorry. I believe it's actually egg-shaped. I believe because of gravity. I believe because of all the things that we have. That there's a core in this earth. That we revolve around the sun. The moon revolves around us. In a circular pattern. I believe that. Do I force that belief on you? No, I don't fucking care if you believe it or not. And science doesn't care if you believe it or not. Science is science. But if you put the scientific method to your religious beliefs, I mean, hey, there's a thing to trust, and that's science. And it all falls apart. It all falls apart. Alright, as always, I'm fucking losing my mind here. You guys got Grogu. So, promise kept. I don't know why the ear is out like that. But promise kept. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I really do. Yeah. Cool beans in the comments below, and I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. Take care. Bye-bye.